clear what's happening in this country. It's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis. You cannot separate yourselves from the bad white people.
What does the world look like to someone who is visually impaired? Yes, tell us all what you see. What do you see? What do you see? Tell us what is right, what is wrong, what is art, what is vision. We welcome you to A Blind Guy's View.
Hey folks, it's the Blind Guy here, coming back at you with another Should You Watch video. And on this episode we are taking a look at Am I Racist?, which is actually in theaters right now. I went and saw it last weekend. I am probably going to go and see it again this weekend, so that probably also should tell you what I think about it. So let's talk about what this is. This is kind of a documentary slash mockumentary-ish in the style of some of the Sacha Baron Cohen stuff, but also trying to teach us about how some of the DEI con game is played. And so the movie stars Matt Walsh from the Daily Wire, and he goes undercover as a certified DEI expert, which is a real thing. I work with a few of those. And he travels across the country talking to other DEI experts and just everyday people. And as I like to say, chaos ensues. And so let me tell you first a few of the things that I'm not a huge fan of in this movie. Sometimes it seems a little bit directionless. I think that sometimes they wanted to do a particular scene, or they wanted to get somebody to say something, and then it doesn't really fit in too well with where they're going with the movie. So, for example, they spend a lot of the movie's time having people sign a petition as to whether they would rename the George Washington Monument to the George Floyd Monument. And I feel like they just did this bit more to make a couple jokes because, yes, people signed the petition, okay, it's dumb, but it doesn't really advance the whole DEI con thing. So that's my only real... Well, there's one other thing that towards the beginning of the movie, Matt Walsh is just... He's kind of just showing up to these things, trolling people, almost like an Impractical Jokers style. But I think that that's actually the most funny part of the movie is the fact that he shows up. And then he starts getting recognized, so then he goes more undercover. And so a lot of times he's playing the role as the leftist, and I think it's almost more funny if he's just kind of there to cause chaos. But that wouldn't have done as much for their narrative. So I understand why they kind of moved away from that. The movie is extremely well produced. They put a lot of money into this. They spent a lot of money, which is kind of the point, was spending a lot of money to get these DEI people to come and present for them. I mean, these are people that are making like $30,000, $50,000 just to come do an anti-racism seminar. So that kind of shows part of the con game there. And so I think it's great for exposing that. I will not give you spoilers, but what they actually convince Robin DiAngelo, the author of White Fragility, what they actually convinced her to do in this movie is absolutely hilarious. It's worth watching just for that one part. And she absolutely, in my mind, she absolutely deserves everything she gets because she charged them $15,000 just to show up for an interview. And this is somebody who tells the rest of us we need to check our white privilege and all that. And she's making $15,000 for probably a couple hours worth of work. So you can see where my thoughts are on it. So I think it's great that it's in theaters. It's great that it's doing as well as it's doing. I think it was number 4 last weekend at the box office, which is remarkable since it's not put out by a major studio. And I just hope that Daily Wire continues doing some of these things and that we get to see them because they are entertaining, they're important, and they're informative. So those are my thoughts. If you get a chance to see it, definitely go check it out. Am I Racist? It's in theaters now. Like I said, it's a documentary / mockumentary because he's pretending to be a character he's not, so it does a little bit of the Borat thing. But it's honestly pretty funny and scary at the same time. So I've got a book that's being released on September 30th on Amazon, The Epic Book of Mythology. Once I get an actual official copy of it, I'll be able to show it to you guys. You'll see some short videos advertising that. Working on a novel that should be out before Christmas. That's coming along really nicely. It's been super fun to do that. You'll start seeing a blackboard put up behind me in the command center here where I plan a few of those things. And we are so close. I think last time I checked, we needed 2 more subscribers to break 500, which means we start getting more functionality with our live streams. That would be awesome if we can break that. And I just thank you guys so much for all your support and your support for classic movies, support for taking perspective on things that maybe isn't the norm in Hollywood or the entertainment or the review business. So I just appreciate all of that from you guys. And those are my thoughts on Am I Racist? I'll see you on the next episode of A Blind Guy's View. Laters on the Menjay.
Latest on the Menjay.
Ships on bigger of the waves are skimming barren summits to the verdant plains. Each horizon is a new beginning, rise and rain. Far from the fjords and the Escort.